Welcome to our EXJ community exclusive event, how to use AI tools like ChatGPT to accelerate your job search. This is the second event in our Lunch with Lisa series. The first event, how to rewrite a JD resume for corporate roles and actually get interviews, is now on demand on the EXJ community platform. The third and final event of this series, how to build a LinkedIn brand that gets you found for the right opportunities, will be held on Wednesday, February 25th at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'd like to thank all of you for joining our community and being here today. I'm Kimberly Fine, and I'm joined by my partner, Neil Handwerker, who is the CEO of Exjudicata and the EXJ community. We will be recording the session. However, I will cease the recording prior to the Q&A so that each of you can ask your questions freely. It is now my absolute pleasure to introduce Lisa Carman. Lisa is the owner of Resonating Resumes LLC, where she's helped thousands of professionals, executives, and attorneys craft strategic, keyword-rich resumes and LinkedIn profiles that lead to interviews and job offers. After more than 20 years in corporate America, Lisa discovered her purpose, helping people see, own, and communicate their professional value with clarity and confidence. Known as the resume guru, Lisa blends corporate insight, coaching expertise, and storytelling finesse to help clients transform their career, materials, and mindset. Her personalized approach helps professionals identify that which sets them apart and communicate their value in writing, online, and in interviews. Consider Lisa your partner in progress, a trusted guide who helps attorneys translate legal experience into business value, communicate their strengths with confidence, and open doors to new fulfilling careers. Again, I'd like to thank all of you for attending. And of course, Lisa, thank you very much. It's now my pleasure to turn it over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Kimberly and Neil, for having me and giving me the opportunity to help the ex judicata members and share my expertise. I'm all about that. We're all here to help each other. That's what I believe. So this is really exciting for me. Um, so I am known as the resume guru, and I am more than just a resume writer. I'm more than a LinkedIn profile expert. I'm actually a corporate transition specialist. So I've got 20 years, over 20 years, supporting executive level leadership and career transformation. So that's my specialty, is helping people make that pivot from one career to the next or from one job family to the next. I also specialize in translating professional experience into business impact language for corporations. I'm an expert in modern job search systems, and when you're my client, I blend structured thinking with career coaching and personal connection to help you accelerate your job search and be successful. Whether you're just starting your legal career, considering corporate roles, or looking to take your leadership to the next level, this session is designed to give you exactly what you need to be able to use AI and make it your strategic partner throughout your job search process. I've been running my business for 20 years. I also spent 20 years in corporate America in a variety of roles. I am dating myself, but that's okay. And I have seen a ton of change in the job market and how things happen in the systems and processes. And without any doubt, the biggest change has been the advent of AI, which I don't think is any surprise to all of you tuning in. So let's talk about AI and how it can impact you and help you moving forward in job search. By the way, I encourage everyone to, here, let me go ahead and start screen sharing. Let's see. So I encourage everyone to connect with me on LinkedIn. Whether you reach out or not, I'm going to be reaching out to you at least. And let's connect and start the conversation. I am offering everyone in this session who hasn't already gotten it the free resume review. So you get 15 to 20 minutes of my time to tell you what you need to do to make that resume stand out and get you interviews. And I'm also offering a 20% discount for anyone on this session or anyone listening to the session afterwards. Um, on any resume or LinkedIn profile service, 20% off. All right, so let's talk about what we're doing today. So here's our agenda. We're going to talk about AI versus the human quotient. Humans still matter, believe me. In fact, I was talking with someone the other day, and this client was really worried about AI and how it's going to take her job. And I said, you know, AI isn't going to take your job. People that know how to use AI will take your job. So this is something that all of us need to get up to speed on, and all of us need to understand and use on a regular basis. The human quotient still matters. Uh, we're going to talk also about how to write and tailor your job search tools using AI. I'm going to do a live AI demo with ChatGPT. And we're going to talk about how to identify job opportunities and organize your job search process. You can even use AI for interviewing skills to help you improve on that. And we'll talk about some of the ethical considerations around there too. And then we'll do a quick wrap up and resources. So I have to admit, I was AI resistant. It wasn't that long ago. And in my mind, I thought, no computer or algorithm or machine is ever going to write a resume like I write a resume, right? And I was actually in my own way and holding up my own efficiency and quality of product because once I got into it, I learned AI can really help me improve upon what I develop and deliver. So just know if you haven't looked at AI yet, you got to just jump in. You got to go for it. And I found this really great article from on LinkedIn by Laisha Ward. And she talked about, okay, what's really going on with AI in the world right now? And 78% today, and believe this was a few months ago, so it's probably 79 or 80% of companies are using AI, and that's way up from only 2023. So that's a big leap. And just so you're aware, 90% of companies and recruiters use AI in their applicant tracking systems, which is their ATS. That's the system you're trying to get through initially with your resume. AI really does amplify the value of human connection. It might not feel like it does. It might feel kind of like it's taken over, but it's not. People still hire people, right? So I suggest that, first of all, like me, when I was resistant to AI, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Always be in learning mode. So it was uncomfortable for me because AI is just so big. There's so many systems, so many tools. It was overwhelming. I didn't know where to start. And when I first dipped my toes in the AI waters, I wasn't doing myself any favors. So I suggest that you jump in with both feet and just use it to the greatest extent you can use AI to benefit yourself and your process. So get comfortable being uncomfortable, be both a student and a teacher, share what you know with your colleagues, with your coworkers, classmates, all of that. Invest in data governance. Let AI help you manage your data, not just your process in job search, but all the data around that and track it for you. And also, when we're talking about learning new things, that's all about change. People can be very uncomfortable with change. So understand the implications of decisions that are made on the job or as you're going through your process with job search, and make sure you're paying attention to what you need to manage change and to deal with it in the most effective way you can. And AI, when you look at it and look at the difference between AI and humans, it really does amplify what makes you irreplaceably human. And here's my first resume guru clue. Add all of the AI tools that you can use or have certifications in to your resume and to your LinkedIn profile. So a few examples of that include the technical expertise section you see here is from a resume. So you can see there's Microsoft Office, all of these systems. And then I added artificial intelligence. AI, LinkedIn AI, Canva AI, ChatGPT of OpenAI. So I helped this client list all of the different AI tools that they're familiar with and use because more and more job descriptions are requiring knowledge of AI. And it is going to become keywords. If not already, it's becoming keywords, AI systems. Another thing you need to do is add your AI knowledge and expertise to your skills section in LinkedIn. That's what you see on the bottom there. So this is my skills section that I took a screenshot of. So I added artificial intelligence and chat GPT and a few others. I just wanted to give you the overall idea. So please, when we connect on LinkedIn, go to my LinkedIn profile and endorse me for those skills. I need to create endorsements, which gives me keyword density for each of those skills. And you can even reflect your knowledge of AI in a resume bullet or a LinkedIn achievement bullet. These are just some examples. Streamlined research and drafting using ChatGPT and Claude, cutting project turnaround by 30%. In our first session about writing resumes, we talked about writing star achievement bullets that include results, either quantitative or qualitative. So this first bullet has a quantitative result. The second has both. Implemented AI analytics tools that automated regulatory reporting, reducing preparation time by 40%, there's your quantitative, and improving accuracy, there's your qualitative. We didn't have a number for that or a guesstimate percentage, but it did absolutely improve accuracy. So that was fine to put, and that includes both types of results. Last one I'm going to read is leverage generative AI for contract review, cutting average review time from 3 hours to 45 minutes. Now, we could make that into a percentage of time saved as well, while ensuring compliance with company standards. So that's your qualitative result. Okay, so I just wanted to point out ways to put this into your marketing tools. Okay, so I do not recommend that you write your resume from scratch only using AI. You need to create what you can create. First, build the resume as best you can, and then use AI to improve it. But I know some people are going to want to do this anyway. So this is what you do if you are interested in it. I want to point out up here in the corner, ChatGPT, Claude, and Rezi. These are the systems I recommend you try for writing your resume and LinkedIn profile content. My very favorite is ChatGPT, and that's only because I've been using it for quite some time. So ChatGPT knows my writing style, which is really nice. It matches to me once it learns about me. Claude is also a really good option. I know people who would prefer Claude over ChatGPT any day for resume writing and LinkedIn profile writing. And Rezi is a really solid tool too. Now, I should also mention that I've developed a couple of handouts for you. One is all about the different AI tools for job search. So it's called Job Search AI Tools. And Kimberly has been kind enough to put that on the resources page, which she'll talk more about later for Ex Judicata. But every screen I go to, when you see new bright green, those are the tools I recommend related to what I'm speaking about on that slide. So this is what you do if you're going to write your resume from scratch using AI. You give it as much information as you can, like you overload it. So you describe who you are, how you work, how you lead, what you're like as a team member, results that you typically drive. You just start typing, give it as much info as you can. Then list your absolute best qualities, your knowledge, your skills, your strengths, all of those attributes that help you be successful in whatever you do. Just give it all that information. Then list your work experience, just like it would be needed to be listed for a resume document to be built. So we're talking about the company, your title, the date range, job responsibilities, and achievement statements. So responsibilities and achievements are two different things. So think of it this way. Anyone can list their responsibilities that they're supposed to be doing in their job. Not everyone can show impact with actual achievements related to those responsibilities. And then, of course, you could also have AI help you write cover letters, emails to recruiters or introductory emails to hiring managers, post interview thank you emails. So AI can help you with a ton. And if you want to do it from scratch, give it a try. But no, you cannot just take what it spits out. AI is wrong sometimes. It gives you what they call hallucinations. And that's just a piece of information that AI decided to throw in there. Gosh knows where it got the information from, whatever the data pool is pulling from, and that information is wrong, or it's a link that doesn't even exist, or it's just absolutely incorrect. But AI will act like it's the authority and that it's right. So you really have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure it's correct and you're personalizing it for you. All right, this is what I recommend you do. Just use AI to improve your resume and your LinkedIn content. So the way to do that is you copy and paste your resume into ChatGPT, and an example prompt is review this resume, improve it for clarity and brevity, and power up the achievements in each role based on project manager roles in the healthcare industry. So this is when you don't have a job description in front of you, but you know you're considering shifting to a PM role in healthcare. So you just tell ChatGPT to change it for that and let's see what it comes up with, right? And I've also developed a handout for you called Job Search AI Prompts. So not just this one, but a whole bunch of other suggested prompts that will help you create your marketing tools with AI. You can also ask ChatGPT to compare your resume to a job description and adjust it to match keywords in that job description. So a simple prompt for that is rework this resume to match keywords in the job description. So that just gives you an idea, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate doing this with ChatGPT right now. So I'm going to stop sharing my current screen. Well, actually, first I'm going to show you what I have to do to copy and paste material into ChatGPT. So I'm going to share a different screen showing the resume I'm going to use. There we go. You should all see the resume, Milo's resume. Great. So I want you to notice this here. I am not copying everything, including Milo's name and contact information. You don't need that in ChatGPT floating around. Don't include your contact and name. Just copy from the profile paragraph down. So I'm going to copy that information. And now I'm going to need to stop sharing in order to go over to ChatGPT. Okay, almost there. And I'm going to share my ChatGPT screen. Here we go. So I've already put in the prompt, rework this resume to match the job description. So now I'm going to paste all that resume into ChatGPT, do a space here, and now I'm going to go back to another document, and that is the investment analyst job description. Sorry, the senior credit analyst job description. Here it is. So I'm going to, and by the way, this was only posted like four or 5 days ago in LinkedIn, and it's in New York. So I'm going to copy this Fusion Staffing Partners Senior Credit Analyst job description to the very end. And then I'm going to come back to ChatGPT. And paste it in with the resume that I just pasted in, and then hit go. So ChatGPT is thinking about this, and it's developing me a strategically reworded ATS-aligned resume draft that repositions this candidate credibly for a senior credit analyst role. It bridges from legal to credit investment analysis activities. All right, so here's the resume draft itself. This is for, and by the way, on your resume, always, always, always have the job title that you're applying to on the top of the resume. Right underneath your contact info is the perfect spot. So senior credit investments, this is the exact title. Titles on job descriptions are always keywords. And then we've got the professional summary. That might be a little lengthy. I try to go with 300 to 500 characters in the professional summary, including spaces. This looks okay. And keep in mind that in a resume, it will show the bolding. I don't like the bolding that ChatGPT applies, so I always take that out. But in LinkedIn, you can't do bolding. It doesn't recognize it as bolding. So it messes up your LinkedIn content. So I like what it's written here. Analytic professional with 15 years experience, multi-health healthcare, transitioning from senior legal counsel to credit and investment analysis, et cetera, et cetera. Trusted advisor to CEOs, CFOs, and boards, et cetera. So it did a pretty good job with the professional summary. I'm going to add more to that based on that client's strengths and what some of the big stuff that they have done. Although I might downplay it a bit since she wants to go or he wants to go to a lower level role because he's been doing this work for so long and he's pretty much done. Doesn't want to do this anymore. And then it lists is here's the core competencies. Oops, I went too fast there. So these are your keywords. These are the keywords identified by ChatGPT that are important on that job description. So you want to make sure that these keywords are reflected in a key strengths or core competencies section on the resume and in your LinkedIn profile. And then we've got the professional experience. All right, so we've got the company, the timeline, and then we've got selected contributions. We do not need that line on the resume. So it starts with a responsibility statement. That's pretty long. I prefer like a one-liner for a responsibility statement, 1 to 2 lines. And then here we go. Let's take a look at the achievement bullets. Led risk and cash flow impact analysis for enterprise assessing downward exposure and mitigation affecting system financial performance. I don't like how that's worded. Go to the next one. Conducted due diligence and documentation review in connection with acquisitions. Boy, this is really lengthy bullets. Okay, so I'm going to go into chat and I'm going to say, let me move it up further. I have to move something so I can get back to the chat. Okay, please, and you don't have to say please and such, but I'm a please and thank you kind of person. So please shorten the resume achievement. You don't even have to spell well. Bullets and end with results for each bullet. Then I just hit go and we'll see what it comes up with for us. It's still lengthier than I would like. Okay. Let enterprise risk and cash flow analysis condense and results focus. Well, let's see what reduced downside financial risk and protected system liquidity. Okay, that's a much better result than what it was to begin with. Conducted due diligence and legal documentation review to support informed valuation and integrated decisions. That's a solid result, kind of generally speaking. So I would ask the client, related to due diligence and legal documentation review, is there a specific achievement that you would speak to in an interview? And if there is, we write an achievement bullet for that. Something you're really proud of in that arena. Integrate, advised CEOs and CFOs in wage and hour exposure, litigation scenarios, enabling proactive resolution strategies that minimize balance sheet volatility and preserve capital. So that's the result. I always like the results at the end on the resume, and that's using the STAR method for writing an achievement bullet. So this is improved, definitely. ChatGPT did a much better job of identifying results. Here's one, reducing unfavorable terms and improving downside protection. Okay, so I'm still going to make changes to these based on what I know of the client, but I think it's a much better result just with that little prompt that I used. And then we can also say, mm, mm, mm. Oops, didn't mean to do that. We can also say, what am I doing here? Sorry about this. I accidentally clicked something over here. Okay, please shorten the profile paragraph to under 200 words. And we'll see what they come up with here. So it really focused on the financial side, which is what this person wants to do. That is not under what 200 words. Oh, it went with words instead of characters because that's what I told it to do. Okay. Shorten the paragraph to under 200 characters, please. Analytical professional with 15 years assessing risk, cash flow, and legal structures in complex enterprises, transitioning to credit and investment analysis focused on disciplined downside protection. That could be the short, brief responsibility statement or profile paragraph. So I just wanted to show you, just jump in with both feet and really take advantage of this tool. Now I'm going to stop share and I must go back to my presentation. My mouse is acting up. It must need a new battery. Back to my presentation. Okay. Okay. So we just went through using AI for your resume development and improving it. You can also do the same thing with your LinkedIn content. So the way that I approach this is I build all LinkedIn content for a client in a Microsoft Word document or a Google Doc first. So I'm building all this it's pages and pages of content, writing the headline for the person, the LinkedIn About section, all of the experience section, and it should not be an exact replica of what's on the resume. So in LinkedIn, you have a lot more room to insert keywords very strategically throughout the profile. So LinkedIn gives us tons of space where you're so limited on a two-page resume. LinkedIn, you have tons more space to really bring in who you are and how you get results and all those strategic keywords. So to write your LinkedIn About section, just ask ChatGPT to do that. But remember, you have to give it as much information as you can to get the best results. Canvas um, has a new content writer called Canvas Magic Write. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited to. I will get to that. Claude is very helpful with LinkedIn content development too. You can also have it develop your elevator speech, or anything else that you need. Just remember, you have to give it as much information as possible. All right, so I wanted to show you something. JobScan is another tool that some of you may have played with a little bit. It's a very powerful tool. It compares your resume to the job description and it tells you how close you are to a match, right? So I wanted to show you, I uploaded a sales ops job description and a sales ops client resume, and it tells me I only have a 44% match. That's not good. So what am I going to do about that? Well, all you have to do is look down and it tells you where you're having troubles, where you really need to focus your efforts. In terms of searchability, I'm fine. There's only one little issue, but I do not have the hard skills included in that resume for that client or the soft skills that I need. So there's 16 hard skills that need to be included in addition to what I already have, and 8 hard soft skills. So that was really good, solid information. It also tells me that for the job match, this job title, VP Sales Ops and Enable It from the job description was not found in this resume. So that's another reason. Make sure you have the job title at the top of the resume. Two more. Your experience is less than the role requires. So if you're confident you can perform the job and meet other criteria, then consider applying. And if you get a message like this, then you got to say, okay, then how am I going to address that so that they care about interviewing me? Maybe in the cover letter. Maybe the resume won't get through just because you don't have that number of years experience that's required. And if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Unless you can connect with someone through LinkedIn or start an email conversation with someone at that company that could maybe hand carry your resume in or something like that. So if you see that you don't meet qualifications, if it really looks like it's it's there's no way they're going to interview you, don't bother. But if you think you can walk in and do that job well, find a way to say that in the resume and in the cover letter. And it also told me that the tone of the resume is positive, no common cliches and buzzwords, and there also was a web presence for this person, and it liked that. Another thing you can do with AI is actually find out about jobs that you might not have even thought of. So just go to AI like ChatGPT or Google Jobs or LinkedIn Job Alerts and just start typing a potential title and see what pops in the drop down list. And every time you set a job alert, you're using AI that to personalize all of the job recommendations that you start getting. Now, to alleviate the issue, to eliminate the issue of you being bombarded with new job alerts, really be focused on the jobs you're truly qualified for and can step in and do immediately. And does that mean you might have to take a lower level role? Maybe. I don't know. But don't let yourself be overwhelmed by job alerts for roles that you really aren't realistic for you. You can also ask AI to review multiple job descriptions for commonalities, help you pick out all those keywords that are typical in the same types of roles. Um, the prompt for that is simply analyze these job descriptions and identify what the jobs have in common. Now, when you ask ChatGPT or Claude to give you the keywords in a job description, here's the issue. You'll get a huge list of keywords. So narrow it down. Ask the system to identify the top 9 or 12 keywords, because I recommend you have 9 to 12 keywords on the resume that you replace with keywords on the job description. We talked a lot about that in our last session. Okay, so preparing for interviews with AI. This is getting more and more popular. There's some really good systems out there, like Udly, Final Round AI, and ChatGPT. Final round I like it. I like how it helped me prepare for interview questions. It would give me the interview questions for a particular job or job description, or just if I said this type of job in this industry, it would give me a list of the interview questions. And then the next step is to ask for answers based on your experience. So make sure you include your resume so that the system can optimize what it's providing you for what you are needing. So the problem is with these systems like JobScan, uh, if you use it more than 5 times a month, then you're going to have to upgrade and pay the $20 or $30 a month to have the next level, to have unlimited interview stuff and unlimited resume scans with JobScan. JobScan is a limit of 5 resume scans a month. And if you're in job search and really working it and making it your full-time job, that's not enough. And then do you want to spend $29.95 to go up to the next level to get unlimited job scans? Maybe it's worth it for a couple of months and then turn it off, go back down to the basic plan after you get the job of your dreams. You can also there are interview simulation or mock interview tools out there that work really nicely. Although I have to say the few that I've used, one of them was pretty glitchy. The other one gave me very general feedback, so I'm not sure how great the feedback was, but any practice for interview questions is good practice. So I would suggest trying them, give them a shot and see how they feel to you. Now, here's the ethical considerations. You may have heard about this. There are people, and now that interviews are happening online all the time, right? In Zoom sessions and such. There are people who are getting their interview responses through AI live during the interview. And companies are getting wise to that. And so some companies are making more of an effort towards in-person interviews to avoid that. So they'll be on a Zoom interview with a client, or sorry, with a candidate, and the candidate is answering things just perfectly, like that is perfect fit. And then they hire the candidate and they can't do the job. So they were, and then one of them, I actually talked to a manager who went through that, and he said the interviewee did admit that got a little help from AI. So that's not ethical. Don't do that. And I think more and more in-person interviews will be happening for jobs that aren't remote, of course, because of those problems. Let's see. You can organize your search with AI. Notion AI is fabulous for that. Trello and ChatGPT work well, and Teal HQ is really great. You might want to check that out. And I signed up for the emails from Teal HQ, and I love the information that it provides. Really good current stuff on job search. So at least sign up for the Teal HQ emails for you just to keep you updated with what's the most current. But you can go in and have the AI, make your table. I'm kind of old school. I just know how to use Excel really well, so I use Excel to do this. But you can have AI produce the Excel spreadsheet, make the table for you, track your jobs. I went into Notion AI and I said, create a table with these categories. And I listed company name, job title, um, extra notes so I could capture anything additional that I noticed about the job or person I might know. Um, Phone number, email address, date I applied, interview question mark, yes or no, date of interview. I mean, a huge, really long Excel table, and I had Notion AI develop that for me too, and it worked great. And then it can actually track your jobs, and you can set reminders to remind you to check on a job. And then you won't have the issue of, did I already apply to that job? Automate it. Use AI to help you with that. And you can build personalized dashboards as well with these systems. Really powerful stuff. All right. Overall, what I want you to get out of this is an understanding that AI can be your friend, but don't use it for everything. So use AI to support your job search, use the tools intentionally, optimize your time, be clear, consistent, and authentic to who you are. And remember that people hire people, not prompts. And embrace a growth mindset. Learn as much as you can about AI. Make sure that comes out in your interviews as well. All right, now I think we have extra time now for some questions. Kimberly, am I correct?
Yes, we do. And thank you so much, Lisa. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop recording, and you can use the chat functionality or the Q&A functionality to raise your hand, and or you can let me know and I can pop it open so that you can speak. But right now I'm going to halt the recording. Again, thank you for attending. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Lisa. Recording is being stopped.